welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. It's nice to see you. I actually cut my hair recently, so we went pretty short. And I just wanted to show you guys the new hair that I did. And I actually have a new video for you guys that I wanted to come on here and talk with you guys and just kind of spend some time with you. So recently the Lord had been having me do a lot of gardening, and this is, like I said, this is more than usual. You know, I have my little plants, I have my little vegetable garden, but now He's wanting me to do an increase. So like maximum, like, oh, go get all of the plants in the store. Like, my Home Depot bill has been like super long recently. So yeah, so the Lord has just been having me increase what I've already been doing. So the labor, the work, all of it, it's just been increased. It's been double, it's been more. So yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to come on here and talk about. And so the thing that the Lord has been teaching me, He's been showing me recently, you know, through, you know, gardening and sowing and planting seeds and all of this stuff like that. He put a scripture in my head. He put a scripture in mind, and it's the scripture that says, my grace is sufficient for you. And my grace is sufficient for you is something that is very personal to me. Like, it's something that the Lord had to teach me the hard way. And it was when I was like in a really low point in my life where I just felt very angry and I felt really mad because I kept waiting on the Lord and nothing was showing. Nothing. There was no fruits. There was nothing coming about. And I was like, Lord, I'm following you. I'm doing all this work for you. You know, I haven't been doing anything wrong. Like, how come my situation hasn't changed? And He said, my grace is sufficient for you. And that was the first time I had ever heard that Bible verse. Like, I had never really read that Bible verse before, but He showed it to me, and I was like, oh, I was like, where was this in the Bible? You know? And that was like a couple months ago. That was like for me, that was a long time ago, but that was a couple months back. And He kind of reminded me of it today. He reminded me of it right now, and He just said, my grace is sufficient for you. And that has a lot to do with whatever you decide to plant, whatever you decide to grow and to water, you know, whether that's a ministry. Obviously, ministries, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes prayer, it takes the Lord's hand on it. It can be used for your family, you know. Obviously, your family is like, it takes time for your family to go to Christ. It takes time for everybody to serve the Lord. It takes time, you know, for financial success, for career wise. You know, if you have a career, you know, your career takes time. So the parable of the sower, where, you know, you plant the seed, you have to keep watering it, and ultimately it is the Lord that brings the increase in whatever situation you have going on in your life. So that's something that I think is really amazing. I think it's something that is almost kind of like, it just feels good to know that whatever you decide to plant, whatever you decide to grow, the Lord is the one that will bless it. So sometimes that means you gotta wait a little bit longer than usual. And I know that sucks, but you know, some crops, they harvest in, you know, 2-3 months. Some crops, it takes about a year. And that's just how it is. Everything is on its own different journey, and everything takes a different amount of time. So, you know, ask the Lord and really talk with Him and say, you know, this new thing that I'm trying to birth, this new thing that I'm trying to grow, how long is it going to take? Is it something that, you know, I should be watering every day? Is it something that you only want me to pay attention to once or twice a week? You know, it's things like that. You know, whatever it is that you want to see grow, you want the Lord to bless it, You got to be in communion with the Lord. You got to be speaking with the Lord. You got to be asking him these questions. You got to ask him, because he is the one that brings the increase. He is the one that will bless it. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just, kind of talk about that. And I know that agriculture isn't really something that is really spoken about that much in the culture today. Like, I didn't really know how to grow or how to garden at all, but it's the fact that there's so much biblical knowledge, so much biblical wisdom when you're talking about sowing and harvesting and growing. It's amazing. So yeah, I really encourage you guys, like I said, if the Lord has put it in your heart to start a garden, if the Lord has put it in your heart to start growing some food, I encourage you guys, please start gardening. Please start growing your own food. And the Lord has been teaching me like little parables here and there, little life lessons just from gardening, that I don't have to go learn in the real world. He's just teaching me by my little plants. So yeah, it's really fun and it's really amazing, like I said. And if there's anything in this season that you were trying to birth, be in communion, be in relationship with God, and ask him these questions. Say, God, how much time do you want me to spend on this? How much time do you want me to spend in prayer? What strategy do you want me to use? What tools do you want me to use? Because like I said, everything is so different. Every plant is different. So in the same way, every situation in your life is gonna be different. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all that I had to talk to you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Shalom.